I'm going to ask DK about the Chronicles of Chucky and Bish, right? The two leg spinners. Let's call it that. The Chronicles of Chucky and Bish. They were both just brilliant in tandem today, weren't they?
No, it's lovely the lengths that they bowl, but also the speed that they bowl it at. That's what makes them really special. Both the spinners very similar in terms of figures, but what set them apart was the lengths that they bowled. Varun obviously gets more bounce, Ravi Bishnoi gets a little more off the pitch, and they made use of that. We spoke about how Durban can be a good pitch if you hit the right length, and they both showed that. Very different in the way they release the ball, in the way they get the ball to turn after it hits the pitch, but very, very economical and one that the Indians would love. Do look at the construct of the 11. You would think that Akshar Patel is playing more as a bowler who would bowl when two right-handers are at the crease, and also more for his batting. But a terrific all-round bowling performance from both the spins of the T20 format for India.
Yeah, it's such a good point. You talk about the one thing that they had in common was, of course, their lengths. They weren't giving the South Africa batters too much to work with. It's almost like you look at them and you go same but different, right? They're different. Talk to us about the differences in the two of them.
Well, the differences is remarkable, isn't it? Like Bishnoi, who is a leg spinner but can really bring the ball back in, so forces more for right-handers, cramp them for room, bowls stump to stump, bowls at a pace which usually is hard to get away with. So that is something which works in his favor. Varun Chakaravarthy, we all know, he's in good form right now. Has added that the ball which goes away from the right-handers, but has those flipper kind of variations. Again, hurries the batsman. So both the bowlers, they have one thing in common. They like to be wicket to wicket and they rush the batters. So that is something which works in their favor. But they both have yet a very distinct style of bowling.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you're tempted to look at the 11 and you go, why are there two leg spinners here? But they aren't exactly leg spinners, right, DK? They're not traditional sense leg spinners, both of them.
Yeah, they have very similar release, very tall in their position at the crease. But what is very interesting about both of them, the similarity being the speed, but very different in the way they land the ball. As I said, both rely very much on googly edge. That's their stock ball. Even Ravi Bishnoi doesn't get the ball going away so much because he has his arms so straight. Sometimes it's over his head, what we call pass perpendicular in bowler's parlance, and hence the ball doesn't go away from the right-hander. A lot more comes back in. Whereas for Varun Chakaravarthy, it's more about deception as well. The fact that people don't pick whether it's a googly or the one that goes back out. And what makes it really tough for the batter to deal with the Varun Chakaravarthy is the fact that he gets extra bounce. Even the ball that Henrik Klaasen got out, it came on to much quicker, bounce a little extra. Whereas with Ravi Bishnoi, because he's not the tallest guy, he's always at the stump. It's almost like you miss it and you can be rest assured that your LBW are bowled.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen so much of him from behind the wickets, right? Those variations tough to pick out of the hand?
Well, in my case, because literally I played so much cricket with the Varun Chakaravarthy, when I'm keeping, I can definitely pick. Interestingly, when I bat, it's not that easy. Even though it's just a few centimeters away, the keeper and the batter, it's so much more because the decision making as a batter is so much more. You have to pick the length, decide what shot to play, and then execute it. Whereas with keeping, it's all about just catching the ball. So mentally, you feel like you have a lot more time.